Everyone, so this is HunyahTravels pageant coaching service, and today I will be talking about how platforms are similar to getting grants or like grants. So, as you know, I've been competing over 2 years. I've competed online, locally, nationally, and internationally. I've kind of done all three in 2 years, although sometimes depending on how long it takes, but there's a billion different pageants, so you can compete at any level. You could also compete at a state level or at a national level and then go into international ones, or you can do it in different ways. There's tons of different pathways for that, which I will explain in another video sometime soon. So today I'm going to be talking about how are platforms similar to grants, because the most important thing is when you give your interview for the pageant you're in, when you ask about the platform that you support, the cause that you support, you give a plan. And similarly, you do that with grants. When you do a grant application for your organization or for an initiative that you're doing, you also give a plan. So it is very similar. That's the key point. Now I'm just going to get into the slides. So this is okay, so let me get to who am I? So I am a content creator of HunyahTravels. I'm also an entrepreneur. That is Care Hanger's online thrift store, and I'm a pageant queen. And my blog, as you know, is called HunyahTravels, which started in 2019, and now it's been going about 4 or 5 years, and it's been going great. Then I'm currently doing community service studies in the University of Toronto, and thing is, I've competed in different pageants, and I've also competed in entrepreneur competitions, and I've also competed in poetry competitions. So I have a lot of competing experience in a way, because I've competed in different types of ones. So not only pageants, but poetry competitions, like open mics and stuff at the same time, and also entrepreneur competitions where it's entrepreneur competition, you could say, is like Dragon's Den, but it's not exactly like, it's not broadcasted the same way, but it's online. And poetry competition, I've done online and I've done in person, so I'm familiar with that. So that is a little bit how you know about me, that I'm an all-rounder when it comes to competition, so I understand it really, really well, these kind of things. So when it comes to platforms, like, what is it? So platform is another word for causes that you support. It's a different term for the word cause. And a platform means the cause that you support and what are you doing to spread your message across. So it's like, for example, if you have a cause on let's say food insecurity, then it's like, what are you doing to support it? Are you doing campaigns? Are you doing food drive? Things like that. So next, what is it like once you're selected as a title holder? So once you are a title holder, there's some things that you expect, and some things that you have to work at. First of all, you become the title holder. It is announced. When you are announced as a title holder, you have to remember that what I learned from my pageant coach is that you are a public figure. So it is a public announcement. It goes everywhere. Second is, you will come in social media headlines. So you have to work on your cause, the one that you're supporting. And that's where it comes to, it is like a grant where it gets approved, because if you've been selected as a title holder, your cause has been approved, that you can work on it, and your reign and your regalia is for 1 year. So if you have a pageant that's in November, then your reign or your regalia ends in November. That's how it works. It's from the month you start is the same month that you end with in the next year. So then how do you plan to do it? How to plan to do it could sometimes be the hard part, because you have to figure it out. Do you want to do in-person sessions? Do you want to facilitate, or do you want to do a talk show, or do you want to just like do social media posts? It depends how you do it. Then The other thing is, once you're a title holder, you talk about your cause, you will be featured in interviews in magazines, talk shows, that is a part of it, and it comes there. So sometimes you have to reach out to the magazine, and sometimes different types of media will reach out to you. So that's how it works. So it depends. Then how are the platforms like grants? That is, when you do an interview, it is similar to an application. It is very similar, but the thing is, when you do an interview for a pageant, you're giving the information you know and your plan, just like how you do in an application. So it's very similar. So you have to tell what you know about the cause. That is what you also write in a grant application. How you will reach out to people, that is about your social media outreach, and how will social media support your cause, because social media is really, really important in many things. That's why it's really good. If you use it like a source, it's really helpful. And on top of that, with sources you use. Similarly, in a grant application, you have to talk about the sources that you're using. That could be meaning, and also that gets into this part, that what will you do for a year to support your cause? That will be like the equipment that, like in a grant, when you ask for the equipment that you need, you ask for how much do you need for each thing. Like, for example, advertising, $300, laptop, $600, or transportation, $800, or sometimes you could say lighting system, $500, something like that, for example. Then it is how will you start working on your cause? What's your final report? Your final report, when you give it for a grant, you tell all your receipts and everything in there like that. That's what many people do. So so as a title holder, when you give when you crown the next person, you have to make sure you share with the director of the pageant that what have you done for your cause? What are you, how much have you spent time working on your cause? Have you done any social media campaigns? Have you done any magazines? Have you been on any interviews? It works like that. Then, do you need to invest in your cause? Yes. And as a pageant competitor, or someone who's competed or has worked on any different kinds of projects and stuff, I know that from my experience, you do need to invest in it. That could be for many, many reasons. That could be getting a Zoom Pro. If you need Zoom Pro to broadcast your cause, or this stuff for your cause, that is that. Through social media, because social media outreach works the most. Using hashtags. Hashtag is a part of it, because if you don't get the hashtags in there, you can get your word across. And sometimes a hashtag could be the viral one that you're giving. Exceptionally, I haven't reached to that point yet, but if you have like your own hashtag, like with me, I have my own hashtag as well for HunyahTravels, but you have to, like, getting it to the viral point, you have to work on that. Some do reach that point, some don't. So it depends on how you do. Then, do you need to give a report to give of a progress about your cause? Yes, you do, which I mentioned earlier. You have to tell the director about your cause. You have to give updates to the pageant system. That way they know how much work have you done and how have you responded with the work, and have you shared? Did you get any partnerships? Did you do any donation drive? Did you receive any donations? And how long did you spend on it? And what will you do after being the next pageant queen? And also, what are you going to say at your final speech, at your final moment before you crown the next person? That is important, because I remember when I was Miss Sparkle Nation International 2022, when I crowned the next pageant queen, I spoke about how community service involved. What did I do? And how has this helped me? How it's going to help the next person, and my advice for the next person. That is really important. When I have to crown for a few pageant systems that I know, or I'm going to be, or let's say if I will, then I talk about, from my experience, I talk about what have I done, what have I learned, and what am I going to tell the next person. That is important. That's also including your farewell speech as well. So that's important. So example is that, but overall, in every pageant system, when you crown the next person, you should know what you're talking about. And you should also know that what did you learn and what do you tell the other person. That is important. So thank you. So if you have any questions, please like and subscribe and connect with me. And you can connect with me at HunyahTravels@gmail. And so thank you for listening to Hunyah Travels Pageant Coaching service about how platforms are similar to grants. I hope this helps. And if you're someone that works with community or community services and you want to apply to a pageant, that's great, because for my experience, it is very similar to a grant application. You don't notice it, but there's a similarity in there. For my experience as someone who competes in pageants and now is going into pageant coaching system, into pageant coaching business, that's what I'm going for next, and also compete, and then also compete in other different competitions. What I know is that I can tell you that this is how platforms are similar to grants. And this is one thing I want to emphasize on anyone that is going into competition, and anyone who is from a nonprofit or a community service or social service background. This is what you need to know when you're competing in a pageant. So I hope this helps. And as I told you, for any questions, please email HunyahTravels@gmail.com. And thank you. And please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.